Good day, grade 11 students. This is again Sir Peter, your general mathematics teacher. So, welcome to our part 2 of our lesson, which is applying percentages in various contexts. In the previous lesson, we explored how price increases, discounts, and inflation affect our day to day lives. So, for this lesson 1.3, we'll take it further by looking at markup, discounts, VAT, profit, and loss. So these are critical concepts not just in business but also in financial finance. So we are still on the second learning competency, which is to apply percentage increase or decrease in various contexts such as VAT, markup, discount, inflation, profit, and loss. For our specific learning objectives, at the end of this video lesson, you should be able to compute percentages in various real life contexts, apply percentage concepts to budgeting and decision making process, and of course, we understand the effects of more situational problems involving profit and markup. So let's talk about the first concept, markups and discounts in business. So first, let's have the difference between these definitions, the cost price and versus the selling price. So for the cost price, it is the amount paid to produce or purchase a product. And the symbol is CP. For the selling price, the symbol is SP. It is the price at which the product is sold to customers. So why do we need to understand the difference between CP and SP? Knowing both helps determine how much profit is being made if there's a loss. So this is a key in running a successful business. Of course, the formula in getting the markup is selling price minus cost price divided by cost price times 100. So markup is considered a percentage. So for the discount price, the formula is the original price times 1 minus the discount rate. So if you have a 20% discount, so that's 1 minus 0.2, then that's the original price times 0.8. So let's have practical examples so that we could apply all of these concepts. Let's have the first illustrative example. So, for example, the selling price of a given product such as the milk tea, or I mean the costing price is 120 pesos, while you are going to sell it for 150 pesos. So, let's compute for the markup percentage. So, to get markup, we'll have 150 minus 120 divided by 120 times 100. So, of course, the answer will be 30 over 120, and then we will get 25% markup. So this means that the seller earns a 25% profit on top of the original cost of the milk tea. So if you plan to sell a milk tea, you must consider the cost like the ingredients, the packaging, and the overhead when setting the selling price. Now let's have the price of a power bank. So that's the selling price. And it is discounted by 20%. So let's compute for the discount price. So to get the discount price, we have 1,000 times 1 minus zero point 0.2. So the answer is 800. So we get the opposite of zero point 0.2 and that's zero point 0.8, and then you'll get already the discount price. So remember that discount attracts customers, but businesses must be careful not to sell below the cost. As consumers, it is important to know if a discount is real or just a marketing strategy. Let's have example number 3. For example, the selling price of a product is 2,000 pesos and there is a 15% sale. At the same time, an additional 10% if you have an SM Advantage card. So we refer to this situation as a successive discount. So for step 1, of course, we multiply by their opposites. That's 15%. So the opposite is 85%. So that's 0.85. And then we have a 10%. That's zero point 0.9 or 0.90. So the final answer will be 1,530 following the series of multiplications. So successive discounts are not just simply added. They are applied one after the other. So you can do 0.85 first and then you can do 0.90. Shopper should compute actual savings before purchasing during the sales. Let's have the next one, the croissant. So what if the costing price of a croissant is 200 pesos and you need a markup price of 30%? So how do we get the selling price? So the formula is 200 plus 200 times zero point 0.3. Or there's another way, like we could multiply 200 by the multiplier 1.3 and you will get 260 pesos. So you could either do multiplying it 200 pesos by 1.3, you try it on your calculator, you will still get 260. But originally, when we get the markup by 30%, then we add it to original price, you will still get 260 pesos. So there are many ways to, or there is an alternative way to solve it by multiplying by 1.3. In such a way, they're just the same because 1.3 means 100% plus 30%. So markups ensure profitability but must still consider competition. If your markup is too high, customers might not buy. So if it's too low, then your business might lose money. So you really have to balance your markup. And your price must be competitive with other coffee shops now who offers croissant. Now let's talk about the value added tax. So in the Philippines, VAT is 12%. So this is added to goods and services. So I know that you are familiar with this one because at present there are issues that we settle in government, such as the additional digital tax and tax on savings. So these are hot issues at present. So for the formulas, we have the VAT inclusive is equal to VAT exclusive times 1.12. So originally what you see on goods or products are already VAT inclusive. So if you wanted to get for example, your selling price is 100 pesos, then you multiply it by 1.12, that's 100% plus 12%, then that will be your final selling price, which is what we call the VAT inclusive. To get the VAT exclusive, this is the price without the VAT. You divide VAT inclusive divided by 1.12. So there are only few establishments who shows a price which is VAT exclusive. So some waiter will just tell you that there is an additional 12% after you order food. But that does not work in majority of restaurants. And to get the VAT amount, we simply subtract the VAT inclusive price minus the VAT exclusive price. So let us apply all of these given these examples. For example, a t-shirt is VAT inclusive already, so 750. It means VAT is already there. So how do we get our VAT exclusive amount? So that's 750 divided by 1.12 and the answer is 669 pesos and 64 centavos. So that's just very easy. It's just division of 1.12. Now, in an unlimited samgyeopsal, the VAT exclusive is 599. So for the solution, we simply multiply it by 1.12. So there are samgyeopsal establishments who doesn't include in their price the VAT. So included with the VAT, we multiply 1.12. So the original price that you're going to pay for the unlimited samgyeopsal is 670 pesos and 88 centavos. But I disagree with what the other companies are doing. They should be showing the real price, which is 670 pesos and not 599. Because in the Philippines, it is mandated that it should be VAT inclusive already. So all of the prices must reflect VAT inclusive prices. So to get the VAT amount, we simply subtract our VAT inclusive minus VAT exclusive. So therefore, our VAT is 71 pesos and 88 centavos. So it is what the government collects. It's 71 pesos and 88 centavos. For popular fast food meals, for a burger, a fries, and a drink, this is the usual price. So for example, the VAT inclusive price is 112 pesos and the VAT exclusive price is already there, it's 100 pesos. So how do we get the VAT amount? Again, we simply subtract and the VAT amount will be 12 pesos. So that's just how easy it is. And lastly, if you want to buy shoes, for example, the VAT exclusive price is 12 and the VAT amount is 144. So VAT inclusive is just adding the VAT exclusive and the VAT amount and you will get the cost of the shoes worth 1,344 pesos. So always remember that value added tax affects what we pay as consumers and what businesses report to the government. So understanding VAT helps us in computing the true cost of products and services that we avail. Now for our last activity, let's have practicing the skills on percentages. So these are combined um, problems already. Let's talk about back to school sale. So Hannah here is buying the following school items at the bookstore back to school sale. So the notebook costs 60 pesos, the ball pen set is 120 pesos, and the backpack is 850 pesos. But since it is a sale, all of the items, such as the notebook, has a discount of 20%, 10%, and 25% respectively with the succeeding items. So first is we need to calculate the total discount for all items and we determine the final amount Hannah pays. So for the solution, first we get the total discount. So for the notebook, it's 0.20 or so that's 12 pesos. 120 times zero point 0.1, so that's 12 pesos. And we have 850 times 0.25, and that is 212 and 50 centavos. Can you double check using your scientific calculators? Then we compute for the total discount. So that's 12 plus 12 plus 212 and 50 centavos. So that's 236 and 50 centavos. Now, to get the final amount to be paid, we first add the original cost of the notebook, the ballpen set, and the backpack. So the original total is 60 plus 120 plus 850. So that's 1,030. And then we subtract the total discount, 236 and 50 centavos. So the answer is 793 pesos and 50 centavos. So as smart shoppers, we need to know how to calculate discounts before buying. So this promotes responsible spending and better decision making when you purchase products. Let's proceed to example number 2. So let's talk about VAT on charge on a calculator. So in here, the given price is 1,344, which is VAT inclusive. So we are asked to compute for the VAT exclusive price of the calculator and the VAT amount for letter B. So to compute for the VAT exclusive price, we divide by 1.12 and the answer is 1,200. For the VAT amount, we simply subtract 1,344 minus 1,200. So the VAT amount now is 144 pesos. So when pricing products, sellers must understand how VAT affects net income. So as buyers, no, knowing VAT helps us understand government tax revenue. Now let's proceed to the third example, selling pencils. So Jomar bought 10 sets of pencils for 150 pesos. That's 15 pesos each. So he planned to sell each set at 20 pesos, but to sell faster, he reduced the price to 13 pesos. So I don't get the logic of Jomar there selling it in a lower price just to sell it faster. So let's compute for the total sales and let's see if he gain or lose. Obviously, he lose money there by selling it by 13 pesos. And what should be the selling price if he should have a markup price of 30% profit? Let's have letter A. To get the total sales, so that's 130 pesos. That's 13 pesos times 10. So his loss is actually 20 pesos because originally those pencils are 150. So he lost 20. And then we have 20 divided by 150 times 100. So the percentage loss is a total of 13.33%. Now let's answer the target price if you want a markup of 30% for you to profit. So that's 15 times 1.3. That's 100% plus 30%. So the selling price should have been 19 pesos and 50 centavos and not 13 pesos. So even small price drops can lead to loss. Okay. So a solid pricing strategy ensures business sustainability and customer retention, such as selling it for 19 pesos and 50 centavos. Okay. So you don't have any reason to lose money because if you just want to give away everything. Okay. So when you do business, make sure that you will have a profit. Now let's have the fourth example. So in 2020, the school lunch cost 50 pesos, but after 5 years, the meal cost already 70 pesos. Meanwhile, you had a learner's allowance increase from your parents, which is from 300 to 360 pesos. So do you think this is competitive already? So we calculate the percentage increase in the lunch cost. Then we calculate the percentage increase in the allowance. And based on this, is your allowance enough to keep up with the lunch inflation? So for the lunch increase, we have 70 minus 50. So that's 20 divided by 50 times 100. So we get 40%. For the allowance percentage increase, that's 360 minus 300. So 300 times 100 is 20%. So what is our conclusion on that? If the lunch cost increase 40% and your allowance increase only by 20%, it only means that the allowance increase is not enough to match the inflation in lunch prices. So if prices grow faster than your allowance or maybe your income, your purchasing power decreases. So this reflects the real issue that many Filipino families face during high inflation period. So maybe you could ask your parents to increase your allowance already so that you'll have extra budget for your school supplies and all because everything might end up for your lunch only. Let's have illustrative example number 5. So your class is organizing a learner counseling planning event with a 5,000 budget, and you must prepare the cost estimates for the food. That's 2,000, but since there is an inflation already of 10%, and then for the materials, it costs 1,200, and then you get 15% discount on that. For the services, the quoted price is 1,500. We get the VAT inclusive. It's VAT inclusive already, so we get the Then for the event, they also must sell keychains to keep up with the budget. So, and those keychains will cost 50, but they will sell it for 75 each. So let us adjust the food price using the inflation. That's A. For B, we will compute the discounted price of materials. For C, we determine the VAT exclusive given its VAT inclusive services. And then what will be the effect of selling 30 keychains to compute, and let's compute for the total profit and how it could support the event. So for letter A, for the price inflation, so for the food costs in 2022 it's 2,000, but today it they will cost them 2,200 for the food. For the discounted materials, that's 15% discount, so we'll multiply 0.85 instead, then that's the discount price already. It's 1,020. For the VAT exclusive services, we divide 1,500 by 12. So approximately it's the services that you really paid is 1,339 and 29 centavos. And the rest will go to the government. For the profit from the keychain, we get 25 pesos each. Then we multiply it by 30 keychain. And the profit will be 750 pesos. So selling more than 30 keychains may support the entire event cost because um they almost have 4,000 plus budget for that. So they'll be needing keychain for them to support the entire event. More keychain. So planning events really need real math. So adjusting inflation, the discount, and the taxes ensures your budget is used wisely. So selling products can support expenses, but pricing must be strategic. So if you're going to sell it in lower price, maybe it will not be able to support the entire event already. So we're now finished with part 2 of our lesson 1.3. So great job, grade 11 learners. Today, we explored how percentages help us to understand business pricing, taxation, and personal budgeting. So these concepts are powerful tools in real life decision making, whether you're running a small business, budgeting your allowance, or simply buying at a discount. And with the last example that we have discussed a while ago, when you try to plan an event. So up next is lesson 2.1, sequences part 1, in which we will explore number patterns that form foundations of higher mathematics. So see you next time, and remember, math is not just a subject, it's a life skill. So you use it wisely. Again, this is Sir Peter. Bye.